How to disable all database trigger in one transaction only. How to disable all trigger of a server in a one transaction only. How to enable disable all the trigger on a table, database and server. How to disable all trigger on a table protection work order. Disable trigger all on protection work order. Run this to disable all trigger on a table protection work order. Now, if you want to enable all trigger on a table protection work order, run this. Enable trigger all on protection work order. First, be disable all trigger of a table. Now next, how to disable enable all trigger of database. Adventure Work 2019 in one transaction only. To disable all trigger of a database Adventure Work 2019, use Adventure Work 2019 disable trigger all on database. To enable all trigger on a database, use database name Adventure Work 2019 enable trigger all on database. So this both script help you to disable enable all trigger of a database Adventure Work 2019. So we learned how to disable enable all trigger of a table and a database. Now next we going to learn how to disable all trigger on a server in one short transaction. Disable trigger all on server. For enable all trigger on a server, enable trigger all on server. If you run this both command, it will disable and enable logon trigger. So we learned how to disable enable all trigger of a table, database and server. Now we going to learn how to disable one particular trigger, one specific trigger. For example, to disable logon trigger. Disable trigger name on all server, and for enable trigger name on all server. Now next, disable table label trigger. Alter table name, enable trigger name. For disable alter table name, disable trigger name. If database trigger, then you can enable trigger name on database. For disable trigger name on database. So for learn SQL Server, to learn SQL Server trigger, you can visit my channel. Link mentioned in this video description. Logon trigger, DDL trigger, DML trigger and SQL Server trigger. Please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to never miss SQL Server interesting video.